Dapat mo kang alamin ang wika ng Pilipinas. Hey guys, this is Kim with the King Tut Productions video. So today I'm going to talk about the top 10 mistakes that new expats and some not so new expats make when they come to the Philippines. So a lot of these mistakes are things that either I have done or I've seen other people do, but I also survey my expat group and ask them what some of the most common mistakes they see new expats or even not so new expats making. And you'll really want to stick around until the end because the last mistake I talk about is a really important one that if you make it, you could end up in a lot of trouble. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So you come here, you watched a ton of YouTube videos talking about how cheap it is to live here. So then you have your $1,500 a month pension, and then you just start showing off your wealth, showing off your passport on Facebook to all of your friends, and you think that maybe by doing that, you're going to attract a nice woman. Well, no, most Filipinos do not like ostentation that much. And the people that you're going to attract are people that are looking for that US passport or someone with a lot of money. And I'm guessing that's not the kind of woman that you want. So that's the first one, it's just showing off their wealth. Okay, number two, this is one that happened to me. Not bringing a good working laptop. So when I first came here, I believed all the rumors that the Philippines is super cheap, and so my laptop was on its last legs, but I figured, oh, I'm in Asia, so I'll be able to get another one that's super inexpensively. Well, that's actually not the case. The Philippines has an import tax on consumer electronics such as laptops. And so a laptop that costs about $383 in the US on Amazon.com ended up costing $700 and something in the Philippines. It's a shocker, but laptops are actually more expensive in the Philippines than they are in the US. Number three, not checking their bank's international fee schemes before they come. I used to have a credit union because I was always told that was the best option. But that's not the case for international travelers, because every time I would withdraw money, they would be charging me a $2 fee, a $3 fee, and then the bank itself would charge me a fee in the Philippines. So I was ending up paying like $5 to $10, well not $10, about $5 in order to withdraw money, get my own money from the bank. But if you're going to be living abroad for a long time, I highly recommend that you have a bank account with a large multinational bank or something like that. Okay, number four. It's trying to start a business. Again, this kind of goes to, oh, we come here, we see the cost of living is lower than where we were, and we think, oh, I could just start a business. Well, here's the thing. The way business works in the Philippines is there's how it works on paper, and then there's how it works in reality. First of all, there's a large amount of businesses that a foreigner cannot even own. So for example, if you want to start like a sari-sari or a restaurant or something like that, you're going to have to put it in your girlfriend's name or your wife's name. Now, what happens if that relationship goes sour? All the hard work that went into that business could possibly be in jeopardy. On top of that, let's say that even if your girlfriend or wife is a good person, all these low barrier to entry businesses like a piggery, a sari-sari, a restaurant, just remember, someone probably thought of that before you. Oh, I'm gonna open up a real restaurant that serves real Western food. Well, here's the thing. In the Philippines, everything has to be imported, and imported means expensive. And it's not that easy to get the ingredients that you need. When I lived in Bacolod City, I was talking to the owner of a Mexican restaurant there. By the way, probably one of the best Mexican restaurants I've had in the Philippines. And he was telling me how he had to travel 8 hours from Bacolod to Dumaguete just to get good cheese. The only cheese that was available was that imitation crap that they make from vegetable oil. So it's really important that you really think long and hard before you start a business here. I personally would not start a business here until I've been here at least a year. Another thing that happens to expat is undoubtedly one of your local friends will approach you with a sure investment and oh, I just need 5,000, 10,000 pesos and we can start this business and we can get rich. What's more than likely going to happen is he'll take your money and you'll never see it again. So again, I would not go into any sort of business venture, investment venture, anything like that until I've acclimated to the culture, and that usually takes about a year. Number 5, trying to buy land. Foreigners cannot own land here. You may rent, lease, or own a condo. That is it. I've heard of all these schemes, people, paper partners. The Philippines actually has an anti-dummy law. So if you try to buy land now, don't get me wrong, there's plenty of people in the Philippines that will sell you a piece of paper that says that that land is yours. But let there be some sort of business dispute and see which side the court takes and whether or not they will enforce that contract. I've seen all kinds of different schemes. Most people, once they're married, they've been with their girl a really long time, and she's your wife, not your girlfriend, and then maybe you can put something in her name and you can own it that way. But you need to understand, if you do that, it is her house. It is not your house. Number 6, speaking of girls, is moving their girlfriend in way too quickly. Now, I get it. A lot of guys have this Western mindset that, oh my gosh, a pretty woman is actually talking to me. Well, let me buy her gifts and move her in and try and put her on lock so the other guy doesn't get her. But it's not like that. Again, it has to go with acclimating with the culture. In the Philippines, it's the opposite. For every one of you, there'll be 100 different Filipinas that are interested in you. You do not need to put a girl on lock. And that's another thing. Some guys, they'll meet some girl online, they'll start talking, and she'll use the L word, and then he'll start falling for her too quickly. And then you get here, you realize, well, she's not really what I was hoping she was. But then you have kind of like a buyer's remorse. And I'm not trying to say that Filipinos are commodities. They're not. They're beautiful human beings. But my point is, take your time. Get to know her. If it takes a year, it takes a year. There is no reason for you to be moving in a girl into your place that you've only known for 3 weeks. If she's gonna love you in 3 weeks, that means she should also love you after 3 months or 6 months or a year. Number 7 is actually a big mistake that a lot of expats make, not just new ones, and that is not acclimating to the culture. Guys, if we move to another country, that country does not need to change to accommodate us. We must be the ones to change to accommodate the country. And so we may not understand, like, or even agree with why things are done the way they are done here. But it's not our place to judge that. Our job, if we want to be happy here, is to just understand and adapt. Like, one thing that seems to bother a lot of expats is when a local asks to borrow money, understand that borrow means give. And 99% of the time, that local has no intention on paying back the money. But the Philippines is a non-confrontational culture. And so the word borrow is just more non-confrontational than asking to give. Giving wrong directions. Then if you ask for directions and they don't know, some locals would rather just save face and give you fake directions than to admit that they don't know where it is. Understanding that the way Filipinas think is not the same as the way Western women think. And it's kind of weird that guys seem to have a problem with this because, just remember, if everything back home was so great, why are you thinking about leaving? So obviously, you're looking for a new experience. So just be open and understand that when someone tells you something about why they're doing the way they do it, just accept it. Don't just say, oh, well, in my country, it's like this. Well, we're not in your country now. Dapat mo kang alamin ang wika ng Pilipinas. What I said was, it's really important to try to learn the language when you're here. One of the common misconceptions is that English is widely spoken here. Now, compared to some other countries in Southeast Asia, yes, English is more widely spoken, but most Filipinos, especially outside of the large cities, speak their local native language. And it'll help you a lot if you learn that language. I have seen that once I speak Tagalog to the locals, the prices for my taxis goes down. The price of the food I buy at the market gets a little cheaper. And it's a good way so you can see how your girlfriend really feels about you or her family really feels about you. It is to your benefit to take the time to learn some Tagalog. I mean, there are apps, there's free apps that you can download like Drops, and that'll really help you with vocabulary. So you could just make an effort to learn at least one phrase a day. If you make an effort to learn just one phrase a day, you can be speaking Tagalog and having medium level conversations in Tagalog in about a year. Okay lang? Number 9 has to do with the non-confrontational culture here. Public outbursts of anger will not bode well for you in the long term. And in fact, they can get you deported. I was watching a video of someone and he said that he was at this other guy was at the Bureau of Immigration and they were asking him to do something and he said something like, "This is stupid." So then the supervisor came out from the back, made some marks on his passports and said, "Sir, you are blacklisted. You have 30 days to leave the country." Philippines is a polite culture, and again, that just goes to the acclamation. So it's really important that you try to refrain from public outbursts of anger. Allow me to take this quick intermission to say that if you like this video, please make sure you hit that like button. That's really important because that tells the YouTube algorithm that this content is quality and therefore it spreads to more people. All right, and this is my 10th and final tip, and this is extremely important. And it is so sad when I see people not following this advice. And that is to either A, have an income already coming in, or B, have a plan for an income when you come here. I'm sure you've seen those videos where they say, "Oh, you can live on $500 a month in the Philippines." And it's true, you can, but you're gonna be living like a local, and that means no air conditioning. You're gonna be sleeping on a thin foam mattress with mosquitoes buzzing in your ear and rice and some cheap piece of pig fat or something for dinner. That is not how most people wanna live, Western people anyway. If you just come here with your $10,000 lump sum, then you're gonna end up running out of money a lot quicker than you think. And I've seen guys ending up homeless on the street because they ran out of money. Imagine you came here and then you get sick and you're in the hospital for a couple of weeks. If you don't have insurance, they won't let you leave the hospital until you pay the bill. And to give you an idea of how much you're gonna need, I wrote this down. So let's say you have 100K, so 100,000 US dollars, and you withdraw $1,500 a month, which is about the amount that you're gonna need to live a standard Western lifestyle that you're used to back home. You'll run out of money in 6 years and 8 months, and that's assuming no emergencies, nothing came up where you needed to withdraw significantly more than that. If you had 150,000 US dollars, that'll last you 11 years and 4 months. If you have $200,000, that'll last you 17 years and 9 months. And if you have 250,000 US dollars, that'll last you 28 years and 3 months. Now again, this is assuming you're withdrawing $1,500 a month, never more than that. You're not having any sort of emergency, medical emergency where you're needing to withdraw more than that. So I'm not trying to scare you, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of if you are gonna just come here on a lump sum, you don't have a pension coming in, you're gonna need to realize how much you really do need and think of a plan. You can teach English online, maybe there's other things that you can do, but you are gonna need a source of income unless you have a substantial lump sum of money. And that is just the reality. And actually they're talking about making people prove their income before they come, because there are so many expats that have come to the Philippines and they end up homeless. And I don't want that to happen to you. So anyway, I hope you like this video. And if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you very much. God bless. But I want to know what you think. Are there any mistakes that I missed? If so, please let me know in the comment section below. Thank you.